Okay, guys, so I wanted to make a few safety tips today on running outside in the winter. And you might be like, why would you run outside? Why? It's cold. I live in Canada. If you live in Canada right now, it's not the warmest out here. Uh, it's simply because, not everyone can afford a gym. Not everyone wants to go to a gym. Some people enjoy outdoor running, and maybe you're somebody specifically who has not um, tried outdoor running and maybe want to try it, especially at this time. If you're that kind of person, then just give you some tips specifically for this winter. Uh, Number one tip: make sure that you're layered enough, right? Like I've gone through different pairs of gloves recently, and I finally found the perfect pair that I feel like keep me warm even when it's like -10 or above when I'm outside. So, find a good pair of gloves. Don't be afraid to double layer things like socks, and get yourself a good pair of sweatpants. Like I got these, shit, can't even really, these Root sweatpants here. They're like very, very thick, and they do the job. They do a very good job. And I'm really warm. One of the issues I also had was like wearing shorts and stuff like that, simply, not shorts, but they felt as flimsy as shorts. That's why I said that. I don't know why. Main point is good clothing, important. Hat. Um, if you really need to, don't be afraid to wear a face mask. I know they look goofy and they make you feel a little silly, but man, they cover your whole face and your neck, and they're useful, right? You do look like a criminal, and as a black man, I tend not to wear them. Um, that's a bad joke. So anyway, we clothes ready, all that. Where to run? Sidewalks sometimes might be filled with snow, or just enough that it's annoying. Now you can do what I do, and sometimes I'm like, whatever, I'll just hurdle over what I can. Um, and if there's ice, really just slow down so you don't fall over. I've fallen several times, and quick tip on avoiding that: the kind of shoes you wear. I wear sneakers. If you wear super grippy shoes, sometimes they can grip on the wrong thing. You can fall. Um, it's really dependent. I mean, if you have good shoe recommendations, just comment that down below. But really, just slowing down when you see ice. If it's nighttime, there's black ice, you won't be able to see it. So just being cautious if you want to run, jog. Like you're barely even really running at good speed, to be honest. Like, but do what you can in those areas. If there's areas where there's not a lot of ice, then you can pick up the pace, right? So I definitely modulate my speed based on a route that I know. So picking a route and sticking to it definitely helps. I used to love changing the places I run each time, but I find that it's just a lot safer during the winter to know where you're running and how you're running there. Um, but if you don't want to use the sidewalk, or you're looking for an alternative, honestly, if you can get away with getting on the pavement, somewhere that it's safe, do it, right? Because pavement running it has a host of benefits that are just useful for impact, and also they tend to be salted, at least in the areas that I'm in, right? And of course, all these tips apply to you if you can find a way to run in your area. Something else, hit or miss. I used to remember when I lived back in Brampton, we used to have a track, and that track was actually pretty serviceable even in the winter, which was crazy up until time. I don't know if places are still doing that, so maybe there's a track around that you can actually just run on and you don't have to worry about um, going places. Like, I don't know how many places in the world have outdoor tracks. Um, but we had a very nice one. There was two actually, like close by where I lived. Um, so yeah, the pavement one is huge. Dressing warm is huge. Um, Knowing your body's limit, right? You'll find signs with being in the cold, being in the winter. I get something called like an ice headache, where I feel the ice creeping into my ears, like into my brain. It starts to really, really hurt, and I'm like, maybe I can deal with this for a bit longer, but it's gonna get worse and worse. And when it gets to a point where it's just like pulling the top of my skull, like really tight, then I consider like maybe I should go back. I was out today, like I felt that, but I was like, maybe I can handle it a bit, and it started feeling warmer. I don't know if that's my body adjusting to it or not. Um, but I will call a run if it gets to the point where things are way too numb, right? Like I know my limit for how cold my body can get, fingertips, toes. Um, if I don't layer up properly, I don't prepare properly, sometimes I'll go back home and I'll change, right? It's not like a bad thing. You might be thinking like, damn, I had so much energy and effort into just getting out the damn door. Now I gotta go back to my house, grab something and change. And that just seems super fucking annoying. And it is. But rather do that than run and then be annoyed the whole time. It's just like when you have to like take a shit and then you go to run and then it's like you run a few steps and you're like, maybe I'll just finish the run. I would just go back home. And yeah, that's pretty much about it for running in the winter, guys. I'm gonna be posting a at-home workout video with resistance bands, literally just 6 simple movements that I think are highly effective that you can do from home. And hopefully I will have that out for you guys in 1 or 2 weeks. 3 weeks? No, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks it should be out. Anyway, bye-bye. Take it easy.